So hey everybody, hi, how you doing? I'm Matt. I'm the artistic director of Available Light Theater, and I am the director and playwright behind our new production of Daedalus, a portrait of the artist, which is adapted from the novel Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. What might be of interest to you is knowing a little bit about the process that I and we went through in turning Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man into a stage play. We set out with certain intentions and we made discoveries along the way. And in fact, the play that we've ended up with is not the play exactly that I thought we would start with, which it probably seems, maybe it seems obvious that that's the way it should work. And somehow that is usually the way it works, but it still takes me by surprise every time. So, this idea has been brewing for a while. It's a book that I really love. It's a book that I've loved for a long time. I really do like James Joyce and his other works as well. In fact, in 2008, Available Light produced a play called Dead City that was a loose adaptation of Ulysses. That was by a playwright named Sheila Callahan. And so this is an idea I've had for a while. And in fact, we almost had the season planned and announced without this being part of it. And what occurred was that I went several times to see the Anne Bogart, Anne Hamilton City Company production at the Wexner Center, and I was lucky enough to be able to watch a bit of a rehearsal of that, and it reminded me of how I really like to take on a big challenge, and nothing makes me happier. And I went home and I knew that I had to pluck this thing off the list and commit myself to it fully. So that's how the whole thing got started. And so despite the fact that I had lots of ideas about it, we didn't really start working on adapting it until last spring. So this process has only been a few months, which is considerably less than some of the other adaptations that I've been involved in and that we've produced with Available Light Theater. But it's been great. So setting out on this, I was telling people that it would be something like a combination of the usual Available Light original work, which involves taking lots of pieces and making a collage of some sorts, a mixtape of some sorts on a subject. I talked about other productions we've done, Bob Rauschenberg America, a Chuck Me play that Eleni Papaleonardos directed, and it's one of my favorite things that we've done. A lot of people say it's their favorite thing. And that play really, one of the things that's remarkable about it is that it is ostensibly about the artist Robert Rauschenberg, but Robert Rauschenberg does not exactly appear in the play. He's not actually exactly the subject of the play. The play operates more as a way of thinking about Robert Rauschenberg. I found that really fascinating. And we approached Don Quixote in a somewhat similar way, saying that what we wanted was to think deeply about Don Quixote. We wanted to explore the book and what it's about. And I'm sorry if my eyes are tracking the wrong way, but I'm shooting this on a phone and it's hard not to look at myself on the screen. But I'll try to stay focused on you. So when we worked on Don Quixote, we approached that by saying making a play is a way of thinking about a topic. In this case, the topic is this big book, Don Quixote. So I was very much approaching it in the same way, and I was very influenced by the work that we did and that Jennifer Schlueter did as the playwright on Don Quixote. And so I thought this play would be something like Don Quixote and something like Bob Rauschenberg America, and I thought that there would be lots of pieces of different kinds that didn't necessarily go together, but they would all work together to think about what is the topic of a portrait of the artist as a young man. And I had ideas about songs that would be in the play. I even had scenes outlined already where we would take more contemporary material or contemporary characters and put them in place of the scenes that happened in a portrait of the artist. So something funny happened along the way, and it is that I fell more deeply in love with the book and more deeply in love with the language of the book. And I really came to realize that the book is so full and so rich, and it just didn't need anything else. And And even against my own better instincts, sometimes I started resisting the idea of bringing other things into it, and so we've ended up with, and this was the surprise to me, we've ended up with a play that, while it's not a straight adaptation by any stretch of the imagination, everything in it is actually from the book. It's not one of these works where we will comment on the book in the course of the play. For example, we've done adaptations. Pride and Prejudice by Daniel Elihu Kramer comes to mind, wherein we see a scene from the book, and then in the next scene of the play, the actors turn around and they comment on or explicate what you've just seen or what you're about to see. This isn't that. Everything that you're going to see is from the book. All the language in the play is from the book. So that probably leads to the question, what did we do? And maybe that's a good way to start part 2.